All right, so Michael Lamattina, middle schooler at Petrides, and Gio Molinare, freshman at Petrides, wearing dress attire for no reason. Anybody watching, I did not require them to wear this. So, Gio, first off, I mean, no one could see you through the suit, but somehow you're in the smallest weight class, but you're mad big. How did that happen?
Been in the gym since I was 10. Got put in really early, because I have an older brother who started when he was about 13.
What grade did you start in wrestling?
Wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
I started this year.
Oh.
I started in 9th. But, I've been in gym since I was 10, so it shows.
Okay, so, like Rocky, most people don't start until like 13, 14 because you started to puberty around then.
Yep.
So don't crash out, but like, do you think that's why you're not that tall?
No, it's because of genetics, realistically. My mom is short and my dad's like man height. So genetics is why I'm short. But it is what it is. Nothing I could do about it.
Do you think that plays a role when you're wrestling people because you look like physically imposing compared to the rest of the one?
Definitely does. Definitely. People with reach on me, taller people shoot from farther against me normally because they know that they have a lot of reach advantage. So I don't have the ability to shoot from farther, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
So what's allowed you to progress so quickly? Is it just Rocky?
Richie.
It's mostly being around wrestling. You know, I've really just started wrestling this year, but I've been around it since Rocky was a freshman.
So you're in like 6, 7?
I was in about like 6th, 7th when I started watching it. So, yeah, around that is even watching wrestling helps you like to understand what the sport is about. And I'm a quick learner, so I learn all the moves really quickly.
Now talk about those 2 matches you had with Rob McGlynn. Yeah, you had that dual meet match. It was real close, and then at the last sec, you had that double leg. But then at Burroughs, I wasn't there for that one. You wound up winning that match.
Yeah, Burroughs, we went at it for the second time, and we really just went back and forth. I got the first takedown, and I was just using my thumb block. And just didn't let him get into a shot at all. So it was low scoring. I felt like I could have scored a lot more, but I just didn't want to risk anything. Just didn't want to shoot because there was no need. But second period, he chose bottom. He probably like 35 seconds of ride time, and then he got up. But I was still up by 1 at that point. So third period, I chose bottom, got up, and really just thumb blocked my way into the win at Burroughs. But I definitely could have scored a lot more. My shots were there. I just didn't want to risk anything.
Right. You played it smart. That's fine. So now, are you going to wrestle freestyle and or Greco or both during the spring?
So in the spring, I play baseball, but I'm going to try to go to like a couple of freestyle tournaments. But I'm also going to like some folk style tournaments as well and some clubs.
Now, how do you balance playing 3 sports? You play football, baseball, and you wrestle. That's
it is hard. It is hard to have room for anything else and have time, but it is what it is. I mean, about 6, 7 of the hours of the day are gone from just school and sports.
I mean, if you enjoy what you're doing. So
Well, football is probably going to come to an end because it's my least sport that I care about. And during football season, I'm going to start going to wrestling clubs just to train and get better.
Right, right. So how does your body recover from doing 3 sports? Don't you feel sore all the time and stuff?
A lot of recovery. I'm always at Johnny Benora's house, and he's got a bunch of recovery. He's got the leg compressions that blow up your legs, the massage guns. Everything's great over there.
Shout out JB.
JB.
All right, I'm gonna have to get Johnny on here at some point.
Yeah, you gotta talk to him about that.
Yes, he has all that in his house. Sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, looking at the city finals. Unfortunately, things didn't go your way. What do you think is going to help you improve from now until next season?
I think going to the clubs will definitely help me improve a lot. But again, it's not like I wrestled a bad match against him. It's just things didn't go my way in the end. It was 10-10 going into overtime. And he just took the first shot and got in on it and finished it. But I feel like I could have did a little bit of things to defend, but not really much. But him being a senior, committed to a D3 school for college for wrestling, going into overtime as a freshman, 2-month wrestler is pretty good in my opinion. So I wasn't as mad as you would think I would be.
Right, right. So, what clubs exactly are you thinking about going to? Because there's like a bunch you can go to, and you have access to a car, so you could pretty much go where you want.
I've got two on my mind, and it's Willpower or Edge, either or. JB goes to Willpower, so
Shout out JB.
he would be taking me sometimes to Willpower. But
You say shout out JB one more time.
he would be the one that would drive me to Willpower most of the time. But Edge is also there if I want to go there.
So I've never trained at Willpower, but I've been at Edge Hoboken a ton, and I've worked with some of the guys that are there. I can tell you that's a great place. I've never been at Willpower. I know of the guys there. I know they got an Olympic bronze medalist there and all that, so maybe that's probably why you'd want to go there.
Yeah.
So, what's your mindset going to be going to these clubs? Because I've spoken about it with Tristan when I interviewed him. Some people are just there to make Instagram posts and stuff, but like, what's your mindset going to be in terms of like getting better? Are you going to be blinded by the accolades, or are you going to actually try and work?
Well, I'm keeping all the internet stuff behind me. I'm gonna just work at whatever I can work at. Work my hardest at the clubs. I know a couple of people that I've been to the clubs. So about 6-7 of the wrestlers have been to the clubs.
6-7 days.
Yeah, you're gonna take their knees out, right? Take the knees out. So now we got Mikey. So
Yeah.
same kind of question as the first one I asked Gio. So yeah, technical difficulties, right? So so Mikey, you hit a crazy growth spurt, right? Because you used to be Gio's height, and now you're taller than me, and I'm a grown ass man. So did you expect hitting that growth spurt that you hit?
Kinda, cause like Lorenzo had a big growth spurt going into his 8th grade year, so I would assume I had the same.
Now, has that affected your wrestling at all?
No, not really. I've always been like a lengthy wrestler.
So what's it like training with these high school wrestlers?
Say it again.
What's it like training with the high school wrestlers?
Like it's like
I know I asked you before.
It feels like another club. Like it's just not anything special.
So now, that's a good segue into my next question. Do you go to any other clubs like outside NYC?
Yeah, I went to Willpower a little bit. I go to Beat the Streets in the city, and then I want to start going to KD.
Caden Noya, I just interviewed him. He said he's going to start going over there.
Yeah.
What's attracting you to KD? Like, guys are
It's
looking
like-
at PJ Duke and people like that.
Yeah, like all the best New York wrestlers go to KD.
Now, as I talked with Gio about that, with Caden about that, even though you guys drive, most people sit down and drive, that's still a long drive. It's not,
Yeah.
like, what's making you, like, want to take that trip up there? Like, you think it's worth it?
I hope so. That's
It's
all.
going to be worth it?
Yeah, I hope so.
Grind.
But Tristan's been up there a bunch, so.
Yeah.
So now talk about NY States.
Like upcoming?
No, maybe I said it wrong. What's that state tournament you just competed at?
USA states?
USA. All right, there's like a
Yeah.
bunch of state tournaments. Okay. So the USA states you were just at. Talk about that.
I lost in the finals. So my first match, I pinned the kid in like 25 seconds. Then tech pin. My second match, I pinned the kid. My third match, I versed his brother was in the state finals last year. I beat him 8-3. I didn't wrestle great. I was just riding him out and then getting turns. And then my finals match, I was just in my head. I didn't wrestle my best.
What got you in your head?
Nothing. I was just like nervous.
Gotcha. Yeah, being in the finals. Yeah, that'll get you. So, can you compare like USA states and Iowa State? Like, how do you feel about these other state tournaments that aren't in like Albany, the one that you have to qualify for?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you feel about there being other state tournaments besides the one that's in Albany? Because there's plenty of high school wrestlers that I know of personally that, like, back in my time, they would compete at those tournaments and then go on Instagram and be like, "Yay, I won a state title, yay!" But it's like you're only there because you didn't qualify for Albany, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm getting at.
So they're all like, ah! And they all, bro,
Exactly, yeah.
and like, you just gotta. It's just another tournament, in my opinion. Go in there, wrestle your best.
They all want to do it for the selfies.
Exactly. So it's like you're seeing it as preparation for like long term.
Yeah, I just see it as another tournament.
Which is all it is. So, do you ever like roll around with Gio at all? Or is he too small still?
Like when Rocky's not there, like some Thursdays Rocky would have driver's ed, so I would go with Gio.
Nice. Now, how is that usually? Go with someone that's like that much smaller. Is it like a different? You have to do things differently.
I would like push him. Like we would do hard drilling and stuff, and it'd be constant moving. I'd make sure he just keeps on moving.
Yeah, but like the technique as far as when you go live, because when you're wrestling, you never like when you compete, you never know who you're gonna wrestle necessarily. They could be taller, they could be shorter, they could be your size.
He actually taught me a couple of things.
Yeah.
He taught me his special defensive move when somebody gets too deep on a shot, and I've hit it about, I think, probably like 6-7 times in match. And in my matches in total, like I've hit
the chin whip.
Yes, there it is. The chin whip. I hit it against Tonville kid at Burroughs, but that was like the other Tonville kid, not Ron McGlynn, the backup. And the RKA kid I hit it against, and a couple other kids. So it did help.
How do you feel about the chin whip though?
I feel like because it's like going into the double, and they'll be like, and they think they got the shot, and then I'm just like bang to their back, and then that's wraps.
Yep.
And then they get up and they're like, bro, like how did I just get hit with that? Like,
you think it's like too flashy, or you think it's gonna work against high level wrestlers?
Honestly, it depends how good you get at it, because I've seen it sometimes in like a little bit of the high level wrestling, but not as much, because it is it's not really high risk, but it's not a low risk move. Like if it doesn't work, you could get put to your back because you're holding onto the neck.
Then they could just like drop.
And they could just drop down, but sometimes the move does work out if you're really good at it.
Right. So then, so Mikey, are you gonna compete in freestyle and Greco?
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah. Most likely both.
So, like, how are you going to do that? You're just going to go to clubs? You're going to go to Patrice?
Yeah, just go to clubs and stuff. And then after freestyle and Greco States, I'm going on like a dual meet, the Team New York dual meet team, and it's like we're gonna go to a couple other like duels.
Are you going to try and go to Fargo?
No, I can't this year.
Oh, they still. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're still not allowed. Okay.
So like the middle school, they have like a dual meet team, and it's like you get all the Fargo gear. So that's how I get
Okay.
the Fargo gear.
Gotcha. Do you think that they should allow middle schoolers to go to Fargo? Should they have a middle school Fargo?
No, I feel like that's what the high school's for.
Should they put middle schoolers in Fargo? Should they
The
allow them
middle
to go?
school bracket.
No, like put them in the tournament.
I mean,
Because
that's up to them.
that's up to them.
Yeah, like if it's like it's a high school tournament. It's a big high school tournament.
Yeah, I know, but we've seen 7th, 8th graders at like the
Yeah.
high levels beating high schoolers, and we see high schoolers beating grown ass men. So I mean, if
I think
if like they allowed it, would you go?
Yeah, I'd go. I'd try to go.
You'd go. Right. I think that's something I know why they don't do it. They worry about people getting hurt, but
Yeah.
Maybe if there's a middle schooler that looks like Gio, maybe he could hold his own. I don't know. Like if they happen to be like freakishly
I
big
know
and
what you
strong,
mean.
you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I get that's the reason why, for safety reasons. But I think that like if the technique is there, they should be fine because high schoolers go to college open. So I mean,
Yeah, I get what you mean. I believe.
where you guys at?
He's going.
What is he doing? What are you guys doing?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but because Lorenzo's cooking up on the right.
Lorenzo's making his food.
All right. So, any more? You got questions still?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
So,
I'm here all day.
Mikey. So, Mikey, what are you going to focus on from now until your freshman year starts?
Just gotta work. I want to get a lot better on my feet. I feel like my top is it's not where I want to be, but it's like pretty good. I just want to work on constant moving on my feet.
So now, Gio, what are you going to work on specifically? What are you going to work on from now until next season?
I'm gonna work on definitely setting up, like my setups more. I'm gonna try to work drags, knock by, slide bys. That's really where I want to be. And I want to work like a little bit off of top and bottom.
You know, you could learn. You could like the swerve single, the sweep single, the swerve
single.
Swerve single? What?
Yes,
that's what we like to call it because like
setup, and then you hit the swerve single.
I'm gonna swerve on that goal.
Oh no! Oh, man.
It's like so you snap, and then you grab the opposite wrist, and it's kind of like a drag on the other side, and you just swerve to the side. And you know that new song that turns like.
Oh no!
So that's what they call the swerve single.
The swerve single.
Yep. And I want to work on turns from top and racking up points on top. Just straight locking in.
So now, is your strategy going to be just going for a turn immediately? Trying to ride your opponent, trying to figure things out for a sec, and then try. Because some guys like to stall on by.
Yeah, it honestly depends on the wrestler. So
if you can get the pin, get the pin.
If it's like a half decent, like not my hardest match, I'll go right for a turn. But if it's gonna be like I know it's gonna be a 6-minute hard fought match, I'll probably try to ride him out. I'm actually pretty decent at throwing boots in for someone that's short. So yeah.
That's good, yeah. So that's all the questions, but do you guys have anything to say? Hey, wait, filter yourselves first. Filter yourselves. But do you have anything to end us off with? Don't say anything crazy. So, think.
Julius, you got any questions for me?
Do I have any let me think. Dang. How do you feel about getting injured right before?
Where's the possible outcome to a season?
Was it something like specific, or was it just a freak accident?
It was just a freak accident. We were hard drilling and my Achilles popped.
Yeah, but like, do you remember like how you stepped, how your foot landed, things like
So
that?
my foot like tilted thing so you can like see the table. So my foot was flat, right? Jason
Yeah.
Blast doubled me and tripped me, right? So he stopped all the momentum of my feet, and basically my knee went over my toes, but my feet stayed flat on the ground. So and it stretched out my Achilles and it sprained and popped.
Understand what he's
Yeah.
trying to say there?
It's intense.
I don't know why he did a trip after a blast double.
It was like from like.
It was like-
I'll
No, no,
demonstrate.
double.
I'll demonstrate.
No.
I'm not demonstrating.
It was like from like a blast double, right?
And then he
Yeah.
like hooked
So-
his leg to make him try. to
So the
fall.
funny part is we have a timer on for when practice ends because it was a Sunday practice, so they're not that
the
long.
day after the first
Right.
semifinals.
Yeah, it was the day after our semifinal playoff duel. So Sunday practices aren't that long, so we have a timer set up of how long there is. There's about like maybe like 6-7 seconds left on the time.
He shoots.
And they're like still scrapping. So there was probably like 2 seconds left when Jason shot that blast double. So if that timer was set
No.
to about
The timer went
yo,
off.
hush.
The timer went off. I was standing up straight and I got blast doubled.
So
And then he was on the ground. He said,
Bro,
"Bro!"
like literally.
he was on
I
the ground and
screaming.
Jason was like like get up, bro, like and then Lorenzo screaming like
I was like,
Lorenzo was screaming. He's like, "Bro!"
and then Ola, he ran right over to him, checked him out because he knew that we had the championships and that it was going to be a tough time if Lorenzo got hurt, and that's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
that sucks.
an awful story, but he's committed for D2 baseball, so he couldn't really risk anything by wrestling in that city tournament, but he definitely would have done pretty good in that city.
Right. So actually, I have a story that's similar to that. Actually, the next day, I think I told Caden about Lorenzo's injury. Caden Noya from Farrell. So next day, I was at Farrell at Catholic States, and there was a kid from St. Joe's by the Sea that had he said a possible a meniscus tear, possible, but he was walking around with crutches. He wrestled that day, and he won some matches.
Really?
And he knew that he had a messed up knee. Yeah.
How long ago was this?
The day after D2 cities.
Wait,
So while D1 cities was going on, I was at
At
Catholic States.
Catholic States?
At Catholic States. He didn't place or anything, but he had a torn meniscus, and he's wrestling.
No.
what weight class?
He had to be 131,
It
something
was
like
the
that.
130. The kid from C that made states.
His last name's Caruso, I think.
Yeah, the kid that made states last year.
Caruso. My God.
Wait, he made. Oh, he went to Albany.
I'm getting off.
I think he did go to Albany.
That's
Yeah, the
Lorenzo
kid that
just
made
said.
states last year.
He
He
did.
was lucky that's fat man though.
He did make states last year.
Fucking fat man.
Ah,
All of a sudden he's sponsoring crutches and the biggest one in the. Oh my god.
so yeah, it's just like something that's kind of like similar. I'm not
Yeah.
saying Lorenzo was right or wrong for wrestling or not. I'm just saying that maybe if he wasn't a baseball player, maybe he would have wrestled. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I get why he didn't.
Different outcome if he wasn't
Exactly.
a D2 commit for baseball.
Exactly. Yeah, there was
Yeah, if
something
he
on the
was-
line that he
You
had
like
to
to
think
wrestle?
about.
What about?
But a couple weeks after when he got hurt, he still was struggling to walk, struggling to put pressure on his foot.
Yeah, I'm still in the boot.
Mm.
He's still in the
Oh,
boot.
gotcha. Oh, he's still in
If I
it now?
wasn't the
Damn.
right foot, we would have had no wheeze. We would have never.
What does the song have to do with his injury?
Because like he's driving, the right foot is the foot that he drives with, and the left foot is the one that got hurt. So if he got hurt on the right foot, he wouldn't be able to drive for like a month and a half. No
That's
more
true,
swerving in
yeah.
that corner.
But it was kind of smart what he was doing. But it could have been risky.
Yeah.
If he like wrestled.
Yeah, the day of the championship, he was actually thinking of wrestling.
I know. I was there.
Yeah, I was like telling him. I was like, it could be like could be very risky.
And he
You never
winded
know.
up pulling the
Freaking
trigger,
injury,
holding
yeah.
it.
Some people
So I want to ask you guys that though, like,
Some people.
and this will be like the last like question we'll end with this, but like, and you can take long with the answer here, but what do you think? Like, what's your opinion on people wrestling with injuries. Because Spencer Lee wrestled with no knees. I've seen guys in the PSAL. I've wrestled against them and stuff. They've been injured and stuff, right? So like, if you guys were to get hurt at all, and you don't have anything on the line after, and you're thinking, all right, this might be my only shot to do ABC, would you wrestle or not, depending on the injury?
So, like, it could be risky. You feel me? Like, you get hurt, it's a friggin' injury, yo. Like, that's not good. Like, you can't just get injured and then magically be okay the next day. Which, with him, he was already hurt. Like, you weren't even able to walk.
Yeah.
Struggling to walk.
Puts the week before, say the tournament was the week before, right now he's probably was going to go to States, and instead he's here.
Yep. He would be on that bus in 2 days, but
15 pounds over.
He's 15 pounds over right now.
stepped on the scale 172.
All right, so
And-
Gio, Mikey, thanks for coming on. So
Thank
we can
you.
get to Lorenzo's question.
Thank you, boss man. Appreciate it.
Hopefully we can get
the good
another time.
times. We can get another time next year, maybe.
Definitely, and thanks for coming dressed up.
Right before the season.
Shout out Virginia Beach in a month with
Say
JB.
JB, shout out. Yo, we got it. I have an idea. Me, you, Lorenzo, JB.
Let's do
Hey,
it.
next time maybe we get all
Post-conference?
four of us on here.
Post-conference.
Yeah.
Let's do it.